Welcome back to the channel, where we break down today's most important football fixtures with calm analysis, strong logic, and clear predictions. If you enjoy smart football discussions, detailed match insights, and well-researched outcomes, then you are in the right place. Today's video covers key matches from different leagues, featuring intense rivalries, tactical battles, and teams chasing very different objectives. From domestic league clashes to continental-style encounters, each game brings its own storyline, pressure, and expectation. We are not guessing. We are reading form, studying recent performances, tactical tendencies, and psychological momentum. Every prediction in this video is built on how these teams have been performing over time, especially in similar situations. Make sure to watch until the end, because the later games contain some of the most interesting match dynamics of the day. Leicester City vs West Brom. Correct score 2-1. Prediction: Leicester City win or draw. Leicester City return to action with a clear mission to reassert control in front of their home supporters. This is a fixture that historically brings intensity, and the home side usually approaches it with confidence and urgency. Leicester's style of play focuses on early pressure, quick ball circulation, and using width to stretch the opposition. At home, they tend to start aggressively, trying to score early and control the rhythm of the match. West Brom, on the other hand, approach this kind of fixture with caution. Their structure is compact, and they often rely on discipline rather than risk. However, when under sustained pressure, they tend to concede space between the lines, especially in the second half. This is where Leicester usually find their advantage, forcing mistakes and creating clear chances. As the game progresses, Leicester's ability to push numbers forward without losing shape becomes important. They are comfortable controlling possession and forcing the opponent deeper, which often leads to late opportunities. West Brom may have moments of resistance, possibly finding a goal through a counter or set-piece situation, but sustaining that pressure for the full match is difficult. The overall balance of play favors Leicester, especially at home. A narrow but controlled victory is the most realistic outcome, with the match ending 2-1 and Leicester avoiding defeat comfortably. Egypt vs Benin. Correct score 2-0. Prediction: Egypt win. Egypt enter this fixture with a strong sense of structure and tactical discipline. Their matches are often defined by control, patience, and calculated progression rather than open attacking chaos. At home or on neutral ground, Egypt usually impose their rhythm early, keeping possession and forcing the opponent to defend deep. Benin, while competitive and organized, tend to struggle when facing teams that dominate the midfield and control the tempo. Their defensive block can hold for a while, but sustained pressure usually leads to mistakes or fatigue. When they lose concentration, Egypt are well equipped to capitalize with quick transitions and accurate finishing. Another key aspect is how Egypt manage game tempo. They are comfortable slowing the match down after taking the lead, which makes it difficult for opponents to build momentum. Instead of engaging in end-to-end football, they prefer to reduce risk and play smart positional football. This match is likely to follow that familiar pattern. Egypt will control possession, limit chances against them, and gradually create openings. A clean sheet is highly possible due to their disciplined defensive structure. The expected outcome is a controlled 2-0 victory, reflecting dominance without unnecessary risk. Montpellier vs Dunkerque. Halftime correct score 0-0. Both teams to score no. This matchup presents a very different rhythm compared to the others. Montpellier often approach games with caution in the opening stages, focusing on maintaining shape rather than pushing aggressively from the start. Their early phases are usually slow, methodical, and focused on reading the opponent. Dunkerque, when facing stronger opposition, prioritize defensive organization above all else. Their approach is centered on denying space, closing passing lanes, and frustrating the opposition rather than chasing possession. This naturally leads to slower starts and fewer early chances. The first half is expected to be tight, with both sides prioritizing structure over risk. Chances will be limited, and much of the play will take place in midfield zones. Set pieces and long-range efforts may occur, but clear scoring opportunities should be rare before the break. As the match progresses, Montpellier may gradually increase their attacking intent, but even then, Dunkerque's deep defensive block makes it difficult to break through cleanly. With both teams showing caution and defensive discipline, the likelihood of both sides scoring remains low. This fixture is best described as a tactical contest rather than an open attacking display, making a goalless first half and a low-scoring overall outcome the most realistic scenario. Galatasaray vs Trabzonspor. Correct score 1-0. Prediction: Galatasaray win. This fixture is always charged with intensity, regardless of form or league position. When these two sides meet, the match often becomes a battle of discipline, patience, and composure rather than free-flowing football. Galatasaray, playing at home, usually take responsibility for controlling the game and setting the tempo. Their approach is built around strong positional play and calculated pressure. They rarely overcommit early, instead waiting for moments to exploit defensive lapses. Trabzonspor, meanwhile, are well organized and difficult to break down, but they can struggle to create clear chances when forced to defend deep for long periods. In matches like this, margins are extremely fine. A single moment, whether from a set piece, defensive error, or quick transition, often decides the outcome. Galatasaray's home advantage gives them the edge in these moments, especially with their ability to sustain pressure late in the game. The tempo is likely to be controlled, with few clear chances for either side. However, Galatasaray's consistency at home makes them the more likely team to find the decisive goal. A narrow 1-0 victory fits the pattern of this fixture perfectly. Masry vs Smouha. Correct score 1-0. Prediction: Masry win or draw. This encounter is expected to be closely contested, with both sides placing a strong emphasis on defensive stability. Masry are particularly disciplined when playing on home soil, often prioritizing structure and compactness over attacking freedom. Their matches tend to be tight, with very few goals conceded. Smouha, while capable of building attacking sequences, often struggle to break down well-organized defensive units. When facing teams that sit deep and deny central spaces, their attacking options become limited, leading to slower build-up and fewer clear chances. Masry's approach is usually pragmatic. They are patient, willing to wait for the right moment rather than forcing risky plays. This patience often pays off, especially in matches where the opponent lacks the creativity to punish them during transitions. A single goal could be enough to decide this contest. Whether it comes from a set piece, a moment of defensive lapse, or a quick counter, Masry are well positioned to take advantage. Even if they do not score early, their structure makes it difficult for the opposition to dominate. A narrow victory or a controlled draw suits the flow of this matchup, with Masry holding the upper hand throughout most phases of the game. Final thoughts. Today's set of matches highlights the importance of structure, patience, and game management in modern football. While some fixtures promise intensity and pressure, others are shaped by caution and tactical discipline. Understanding these patterns is key to reading matches correctly and making informed predictions. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to stay connected for more in-depth match analysis, predictions, and football insights. Every game tells a story, and here, we break it down piece by piece. Let me know if you want this turned into a voiceover script format, shortened for TikTok or YouTube Shorts, or expanded into a full weekly prediction series.